I'm gonna tell you right now, this guy's energy is so contagious. Like, I get that I'm bubbly and I have good vibes, but he has all the vibes. Y'all, please join me for Micheal Overlie's interview with us today. He shares so much about his struggles, but also his resilience, which is what this series is all about, which is what season 2 is all about. And so I hope that you guys enjoy it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Hey guys, and welcome back to Got Coffee and Resilience with Reese. I am your host, and today we have a very special guest. His name is Micheal Overlie, and today he's going to be sharing his story of resilience. I'm not going to tell you guys anything about him. You will hear it all during our interview. How are you doing today, Micheal?
I am doing fantastic. I'm full of piss and vinegar. Oh yeah.
Oh no! We got a jokester, guys.
All right. Here
Or
we
you
go.
might be for real. I don't know.
Uh,
Okay. Thank you so much for being on the show. I love the humor, especially right after work. Thank you.
oh, you're welcome. You got to have it. Yeah, life is going to bring you whatever, so you got to be able to laugh it off.
Right? You do. It can't be so serious all the time. You'll end up with
hmm
a heart attack or something, anxiety, panic attacks. So, today, we're definitely going to be discussing your story of resilience. But before we get to that, I want to do an icebreaker, kind of to help the audience get to know about you, get to know you a little bit more.
Sure.
So, I guess my favorite question to ask people is, what is your favorite caffeinated beverage?
Oh God. So that's so hard. I'm a total coffee snob, but there's this Louisiana restaurant that's it's a little about an hour from here, and they make the best orange spiced black tea.
Ooh.
Oh, it's really good. And it's really strong. I mean, it'll take your hair right out. I mean, look. So, so coffee, New Orleans orange spice tea. That's a toss up.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm gonna have to try this orange spice tea. I didn't know such things existed.
Oh my goodness. The place is called Lucille's. I don't know where else they are, but there's a few of them out here in Colorado. They're good.
Okay, you're in Colorado. I'm in Texas. Not well, I'm a couple hours away, but not extremely far away. If you look at the map, not extremely far away.
It's real fast by plane.
Yeah, by plane.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my next question would be, what are three things that most people don't know about you?
Ooh. Um, let's see. I worked as a commercial diver, scuba diver when I was younger. Not
Uh-huh.
very long. It was kind of weird. What else? Um, Most people don't know that I skied competitively.
Uh-huh.
I was a ski instructor and a race coach for a little bit. And what else? Most people out here, unless they knew me from my past, also don't know I was an EMT for 15 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Scuba diving, EMT, skiing. I love it. All the things. I've
I
thought
like to
about
move.
doing skiing, but never did it.
It's not for everybody, and that's okay.
But you were saying
Yeah,
you like to move.
like to move. Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of energy and used to drive my folks crazy because I had to be moving all the time. So yeah, I choose things, activities anyway, that I have to get out and move around quite a bit. So,
Yes, I love it. Some of us got more energy. If you can bottle some up and send it my way, I will gladly pay for it.
hmm, we might be able to work something
We
out.
should sell your energy. Yes, I think that would work out to be better than energy drinks and caffeine.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Well, did you live in Colorado all of your life or did you move?
Was born in Colorado and then
Uh huh.
moved. I don't remember how old I was, 9 or 10.
Yeah.
We moved and ended up in Illinois for a year, and then San Diego for 17 years. And I got married out there and moved back out to Colorado, and I've been here ever since. since
Oh man,
'97. Yeah, love it
wait,
out here. Love it out here.
San
Don't
Diego.
tell people it's nice though.
Okay. I've never been to Colorado though. I've been to San Diego, Coronado, La
Hmm.
Jolla, like that area. We went to go visit family, and I've always said if I ever get married, Rocky Balboa Park over there in California is definitely my place.
Yeah,
It's
Balboa
so
Park is
pretty.
gorgeous.
Yes, it is so pretty. And then we can go see the seals later.
Yeah,
But
yeah, they're smelly, but they're
it's like a
cute.
dream. Yeah, they're cute, for the pictures. Well, did you grow up an only child or did you have siblings?
Um, I have siblings, so
Hmm.
my folks split when I was about 12, and
Okay.
I have one brother from them, from my natural brother, and then I have a half brother and sister from my dad's second marriage. So
Okay.
my older brother, though, passed away about 4.5 years ago.
Yes, I noticed that you mentioned your brother. What was his name?
His name is Bob.
Bob?
Hmm. Robert, Bobby. I had about
Robert
30
Bob.
nicknames for him, though we won't discuss those here on camera.
And what did Robert pass away from?
He had a bad heart. So when he was 5, he had his first heart surgery, had another one at 18, and ended up being paralyzed from that.
Wow.
And was getting ready for another heart surgery because his heart was failing. And he didn't make it. So,
I'm
yeah, I think
sorry.
he got tired of being tired.
Right, right. And I think
Yeah, so
that's
he
right
went
around
home.
the place where people get tired of being poked and
Mhm.
prodded and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when that happened, how were you afterwards? Because I know people, you go through the normal grieving process and things like that, but yours was a little different because you mentioned that it took a while, or it took a kind of like a turn. We dipped real low after
Mm.
our brother left.
Yeah. So this was a excuse me, a huge catalyst for change in my life. And I was able to grieve not just the loss of my brother, but all of these things in my life that I had never expressed or felt like I could express or was told that I couldn't express, and anger and rage and sadness and all these things that I had just buried and piled one upon the other. I was
Right.
able to let go of so much of that because I was just cracked open in grieving the loss of him. He was kind of my hero. He was this like big, gentle, sweet guy who just loved freaking everybody.
Yeah.
I learned later he was helping people who were getting out of jail. He was helping them get their lives back together. He was helping
Aw.
this person over here, helping that person over there. And he didn't have much money to speak of, but he gave his heart to all these people. And that's just how he was. He was
Yeah.
amazing. So
That's
anyway,
beautiful.
um, I was not as nice. And this process of releasing so much stuff
Hmm.
opened me up. And I started to see things differently and notice things differently and realize that I wanted to be different. Um,
Right. So,
yeah.
kind of, I got two things, but I kind of want to continue with what we're talking about. So, like, in what ways, like, did you want to change? What ways specifically did you want to be different
Oh,
compared to how you were?
great question. I didn't feel like I had to be this, me, man, tough guy. Um,
Yes.
I used my anger to create leverage in my life
Mhm.
to help me get places. I
Right.
became successful in whatever I wanted to do. Pretty bright guy, but I could work really hard, and I could use this anger and this drive to get there. And I realized that
Hmm.
I don't need that, and I don't want that. I can still live this fantastic life, and coming from a
Right.
different place. And I started to just open up and have more compassion for people that I would normally just be like, "Hey, you big son of a," realizing that, oh my gosh, maybe they just went through something. I just went through
Yes.
something that was very painful. Oh, there's another guy who maybe just went through something. So being able
Right.
to see people differently, it wasn't instantaneous, but
Right.
it started to happen more and more. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe this guy's hurt too. Oh, this guy's
Mhm.
hurt too. And so I could see myself somewhat in these other people. And it just,
Right.
I softened a little bit. And then I was able to soften a little more. And one day I realized that I want to help these other guys too. So
Right. Okay. That's beautiful. Well, then how did you go about achieving that though? Like how did you go about like making that change once you saw yourself in other people. So then once you saw
Mhm.
yourself in other people, then what did you do?
I realized as I do things a little differently in my coaching practice, I use dogs.
Dogs.
And we have the men have a really strong bond with their animals because we don't have the ability a lot of times to communicate with those other people in our lives. We can't share
Right.
with them and be vulnerable with them at the level that would really, really benefit us. But we can with these amazing dogs.
Yeah.
We know we're not judged. We know they accept us. They love us. They don't care if our belly's hanging over our BVDs as we're walking around the house or that our hair's falling out or what kind of car we drive. They don't care about any of that stuff. They just want to be there. And they're constantly showing us that we're okay and we're safe and we're loved. And so these things started popping into my head. I've had dogs most of my life and different
Mhm.
scenarios from my parents' divorce, my brother's death, my own divorce, all these things in my life that could put you on your knees.
Right.
These dogs were there to support me. And each
Mhm.
dog was different. And I started to realize the different gifts that they brought to me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic. Everybody needs to know this. So, yeah, so I'm on this mission now to help
Yes.
guys with dogs
Uh-huh.
remember who they are. That's what it comes down to. These dogs help me remember at my core who I am.
Yes, and that's so easy to lose. Definitely, I can remember
Mm.
a time where I got so caught up in a relationship that was toxic. And I forgot who I was because I was so busy trying to tend to the other
Mhm.
person. I neglected myself. And it took me about probably a year or more, probably 2, 3 years before I could get back to myself. But then it really wasn't the person I was before because I had grew through that experience
Mhm.
that I had to go through. And then I had to do some soul searching and figure out who I was in that chapter after all of that was over with. So I can only imagine because you mentioned earlier, like, you can't cry. Most men just we don't cry, stop crying, don't be a
Mhm.
sissy, don't talk about that, we don't talk about that, we don't talk about feeling man up. I don't like that stuff. I feel
Mhm.
like those sayings are very misleading, but very hurtful to people's mental health, and it creates this type of reality that just don't exist. And so, kind of like what you said, you described as almost like suffocating with your own emotions from the inside, and then it took something that personal, like your brother passing away, to kind of,
Mhm.
be the one to crack the egg open, and all the things just start pouring out. Did you ever go to therapy or anything like that? Or was it just all self
Mhm.
work? Like, did you have anyone that helped you?
Oh my God, I've had a lot of people that help me. Um, yeah. Oh God, so many people. So I've had, coaches and mentors, therapists, and I've known some very exceptional people who have just been exceedingly warm and inviting to me and allowed me to really open up and helped me do so as well. This is not something that I just learned. My dad to this day, he's still alive, but he's this, hard stoic Lutheran, he was a very successful man and he helped a lot of people in his own way. But he's just a sad guy and he's stuck in that, stone-faced facade. So anyway, I had to learn from, you know, the work that I was doing and look at all the things about myself that I maybe didn't really like, but know that that's okay because that didn't define who I was. It was just something that maybe happened or a part of me that I thought I needed to hold on to. So
Right.
yeah, so therapy, other guys who were freaking outstanding and warm and welcoming,
Yes.
non-judgmental,
Right.
mentors and coaches, and yeah. So I've been very fortunate, but I had to ask for it. Nobody
Yes.
said, "Here, we're just going to give you this big gift." I had to be willing. to get out there and seek what I needed in that way. And it's been fantastic.
Yes, and now you teach other people how to do the same thing. Um, You are a life purpose coach, you are an author, and you also are an energy healer. And for
Hmm.
anybody who don't know what energy healing is or any of the other things that I mentioned is, I hope that you know what an author is. But can you please explain to people or tell us the name of your book and where they can find it and kind of some more insight into your coaching business?
Absolutely. So the book's called Let Your Dog Lead, Musings on How to Create an Exceptional Life. And it's written from a guy's perspective, definitely, for other guys. And it's kind of a primer to um, just look at things a little differently. The chapters are short, and there's a lot of talk. While you're thinking about this, grab your leash, go take your dog for a walk. There's this connection between nature and humans. We bring animals. Right? I got my dog right here. Bring animals and plants into our homes. Right? See the plant back here.
Uh huh.
When they're all
Right.
outside already, but we have this kind of disconnect. So we keep ourselves sheltered in our home, but we bring these beautiful things in, these other beings to spend time with us. So getting
Yes.
out in nature again with your dog, and not just oh, she's got to pee, I got to take her out. Just go enjoy and listen to the wind and close your eyes and feel the rain on your face.
Yes.
There's
Right.
something else there. That is all energy. So this book is kind of an intro to shift your perspective and realize that you can do little tiny things and make big differences in your life.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And I like the fact that you keep repeating that this is from a man's perspective and it's for men because when it comes to men in this area, there is not a lot of resources. And if it is,
Mm,
you got to go out and hunt for it or word of mouth or know somebody else who read it and they shared it with you or something like that. It's not as much as what females have. And I mean, I
hmm.
can Google online now, something and it all pop up for females, but it's like nobody ever thinks about men, or either maybe they think men don't want to be included, or it goes back to what we were saying earlier about man up. You can't, men don't talk about or
Yeah,
they don't care about that, but they do. They're human too. And
we
so
do. And we
I'm
are,
so
a lot of us are
happy.
really sensitive, but we're afraid to let
Yes,
anybody know that because we were raised that that was a sign of weakness. Never let them see you hurt. Never let them see you cry. Blah, 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 blah.
right.
And are these guys that much happier because they followed the rules of somebody else who wasn't taught the same? No, no. And
Yeah.
that's, yeah. Anyway, there's a lot more resources that are coming out for guys, and it's fantastic. So there is stuff out there. And if you're looking for
Yes.
something specific, you can reach out to me, and I'll help you find what may work for you.
Yeah, please tell the audience where they can reach you on social media or if you have a website or email or anything. Definitely.
Sure, sure. On Facebook, I'm just Micheal Overlie, Michael. Last name Overlie. My website is www.dogsandmen, all one word, dogsandmen.com. I'm on Instagram at Murdin, Myrd. I'm sorry, Myrddhin.
Yes.
That was the original Gaelic name for Merlin. I have this thing about wizards. Love them. Um, what else? I'm on LinkedIn as Micheal Overlie also. And I'm connected with some fantastic people and other powerful men that run groups too.
Yes.
So yeah, reach out if you have a question, and don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Yeah,
That
guys, don't be
we're done
shy.
with that crap. Forget that stuff. Come on, let's
Yes.
let's take care of ourselves.
Yes, he has a beautiful personality, but also a very great sense of humor. So, as you can see, there's nothing to be afraid of or, what you call intimidated by. Please reach out to Michael if you have questions or if you want to know how can you come a part of his coaching business? How can you become his mentee? So I have to ask you before we leave. This is kind of like a closing type of thing, if you could say anything to your younger self when you were going through that hard
Hmm.
time, back when you lost your brother, or if you could connect with anybody out here in the world that might be in a similar situation, what would you say? What advice
Hmm.
would you give?
I would say close your eyes, take a slow breath, and realize that you're safe. Everything else that's happened up and through your life to this point may have been hard, but you're still here. So that's proof that you're safe, that you're worthy, right? You're enough.
Yes,
So hang in there. Hang in there. There's something to learn here.
I love that. That's beautiful. I do. You guys know I do psychiatry. For those who are listening that don't know, I am a physician assistant in psych, but I don't rely like 100% on medications. Can medications help? Yes. But do you
Hmm.
need to learn what you can do in controlling your own might? Yes. So I
Hmm.
always recommend therapy, mentorship, as much support as you can from the outside, because medications don't do everything. It's not like a magic wand. Not against medications or anything, of course, but I'm just saying you do have to put in the work. So
Yeah.
I like the fact that he said, take a deep breath and realize you're okay, because a lot of people don't know that they're safe. They don't know that they're in a safe place,
Hmm.
and that there is something to learn. There's something to learn out of every hardship. And so I appreciate
True.
that. I don't know, my friend. I enjoyed our interview today, even though it was short and to the point, but it was very concise. And you gave me a lot of good points in such a short period of time.
Glad to be of service.
Yeah, and I've been saying this on almost every interview, but it's true. I've been interviewing people to help other people out there in the world, but I always take something away from every single interview.
Hmm.
And so you taught me a lesson tonight, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. I love your
Yes.
energy. Oh my gosh.
I love your energy too. You got to come back on the show now. Or if you have a show or anything going on, you
Absolutely.
got to invite me. I'll come on there. I'll talk with you.
I think that might be out of the realm of my skill set, but I'd love to come back.
Yes. Okay. Well, guys, I will keep you posted on if Mr. Michael comes back. I sure hope that he will. But I thank you guys for listening. I hope that you gained something to start off your week. Please connect with me. Always check out the show notes. Connect with me on Instagram and my website, theresilientpa.com. I will check in with you guys probably next week. Until then, take care, guys, and be safe. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.